In this video, we are going to look at the division of polynomials. Now, before we go through the procedure of dividing polynomials, I want to look at regular numbers. We're going to look at the method of long division to divide regular numbers, and then we're going to apply some of those principles to the division of polynomials. So first of all, I want to start with 51 divided by 3. So first, let's attach names to these numbers. So the 51 will be called the dividend, and the 3 will be called your divisor. Now, of course, when we divide 51 with 3, the answer that we get will be called the quotient. So now let's look at the long division. So I'll have my divisor 3 on the outside here, and the 51, which is my dividend, on the inside. So now I'll say 3 into 5. So I'm not going to say 3 into the whole 51. I'm going to say 3 into the 5. So 3 into 5 could go once. And then I'm going to multiply the 1 here times the 3, which will give me back 3. Then I'm going to subtract that 5 and 3. And that will give 5, take away 3 is 2. And then I'm going to bring down the 1. Right? So now I'll say 3 into 2. Well, that cannot happen. So I'll have to say 3 into the whole 21. And 3 times 7 is 21. Alright, so we're going to put 7 here. And then we're going to have 7 times 3 is 21. And then we're going to subtract and get 0. One of the points I want you to notice here is that when we divide 51 with 3, I get a remainder of 0, so that's no remainder. Therefore, 3 times 17 is equal to 51, so the 3 and the 17 are factors of 51. Alright, so I'm going to write 3 times 17 is equal to 51. So therefore, 3 and 17 are factors of 51. Alright, so basically what we're saying here is that a divisor times a quotient is equal to a dividend. And because we have a remainder of 0, right, your divisor and your quotient are factors of your dividend. Now let's look at 49 divided by 3. So I'm going to have my dividend on the inside, my divisor on the outside. I'm going to say 3 into 4 is 1. Alright, so 1. Then we're going to take that 1 and multiply it by 3 and get 3. Then we're going to subtract 4 and 3, and we are going to get 1. And then we're going to bring down this 9, so we get 19. Alright, obviously 3 cannot go into 1, so we're going to say 3 into 19. So we're going to have 6 3s are 18. So 3 could go into 19 6 times. So 6. And then we're going to multiply the 6 by the 3 and get 18. And then we're going to subtract the 19 and the 18 and get 1. So this time I got a remainder of 1. So now when I multiply my divisor times my quotient, I would not get 49. I'll have to say 3 times 16 plus 1 will be equal to 49. So what I'm going to have is 49 is equal to my divisor times my quotient, and I'll have to add my remainder, right, to get back that 49. Therefore, the 3 and the 16 are not factors of the 49. Alright, so therefore, 3 and 16 are not factors of 49. Another interesting point is that 49 divided by 3 is equal to my quotient 16. Alright, and then we'll take my remainder and put it over my divisor. Alright, so we have 1 over 3, so that's 16 and 1/3, which is the same as 16 plus your remainder over your divisor. Now let's go apply these concepts to polynomials. So my first question, I have 4x cubed take away 7x squared plus x plus 5 divided by x plus 3. So I'm going to write my divisor like this, x plus 3. Then I'm going to have my dividend inside here, which is 4x cubed take away 7x squared plus x, which is 1x, plus 5. Alright? Now, what we're going to do is we're not going to say this x plus 3 into anything. We're going to take it one step at a time. So here we have 2 terms on the outside. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms on the inside here. So we're going to take this first term here on the outside and divide it with this first term on the inside. So you're just going to say x into 4x cubed. So you're going to get back the 4, and the x into x cubed will give you x squared. So again, that's x into this 4x cubed. Now, what we're going to do with this 4x squared, we're going to take this 4x squared and multiply it by the 2 terms on the outside. Now, if you had 3 terms on the outside here, you'll multiply whatever you have on top here by all the terms on the outside. I should put it like that. Alright, so you're going to have 4x squared multiplied by x, which will give you back 4x cubed. Then you're going to have 4x squared multiplied by positive 3, which is positive 12x squared. Now notice, you have these two being the same. That must always happen. Right, so we have 4x cubed here and 4x cubed here. If you get these two being different, you do something wrong. So now we're going to subtract. So now we're going to have subtraction signs here and here. Now pay attention to the signs in front of the numbers. So 4x cubed, take away 4x cubed, well, these two is the same thing, so you're going to get 0. Alright, so you're going to get 0 here. But I said pay attention to the signs in front of the numbers. This is negative 7x squared. Take away positive 12x squared. So essentially what we're saying is negative 7x squared take away 12x squared. You can look at it this way. If we multiply this negative sign by this positive sign, we're going to end up with a negative sign. So the sign in front of the 7 is going to be negative, and the sign in front of the 12 is going to be negative. So the signs would be the same. So we'd have to add and keep the negative sign. So 7 plus 12 would be 19, and you keep the negative sign. So negative 19x squared. And then we're going to bring down this x here. So that's positive x. And now we're going to say x into negative 19x squared. That will give you negative 19x. We're going to take the negative 19x and multiply by the 2 terms on the outside here. So we're going to have negative 19x multiplied by x, which will give you back negative 19x squared. So notice, these two are the same. Alright, and now you're going to take the negative 19x and multiply by positive 3. And that will give you negative 57x. So again, we're going to subtract. These two are the same, so if you subtract the same thing from the same thing, you're going to get 0. Alright, so you're going to get 0 here. So now we're going to have positive x, which is positive 1x, take away negative 57x. Now remember, always look at the signs in front of your numbers. Alright, so these two negative signs, when you multiply them, we get a plus sign. So what you're going to have is positive 1x plus 57x, which would just be positive 58x. So positive 58x. And now we're going to bring down this positive 5. And now we're going to say x into positive 58x, and that will just give you positive 58. So now we're going to say positive 58 multiplied by x, which will be positive 58x. And positive 58 multiplied by positive 3, which will be positive 174. So now we subtract. Notice we have these two being the same, so things are going good. So 58x take away 58x, that will give you 0. And we're going to have 5 take away positive 174. So this positive sign and this negative sign, when you multiply them, you'll get a negative sign. So this will be 5 take away 174. Alright, so obviously 174 is the bigger magnitude. The sign in front of it is negative, so your answer is going to be negative. So you're going to take away 5 from 174, and you're going to get 169. And that 169 will be negative, so negative 169. Alright, so what does this translate into? So when you divide these two, we get a quotient of 4x squared take away 19x plus 58, and we get a remainder of negative 169. So remember, if you multiply your divisor times your quotient and add the remainder, you would get your dividend. So basically we have 4x cubed take away 7x squared plus x plus 5 is equal to x plus 3, that's my divisor, times my quotient, which is 4x squared take away 19x plus 58. And then we have to add that remainder, which is negative 169. And obviously, if you multiply this positive sign with this negative sign, you're going to get a negative sign. Alright, so this is what 4x cubed take away 7x squared plus x plus 5 would be equal to. Now, because we got a remainder, this x plus 3 and this 4x squared take away 19x plus 58 are not factors of our dividend, which is 4x cubed take away 7x squared plus x plus 5. Now, another thing I wanted to take away from this is that if we have 4x cubed take away 7x squared plus x plus 5, that's our dividend, divided by our divisor, which is x plus 3, then that is equal to our quotient, which is 4x squared take away 19x plus 58. And we are going to add our remainder, which is negative 169, over our divisor, which is x plus 3. Now, because this 169 is negative, I can say this whole fraction here is negative. So if I multiply the negative sign and the positive sign, I'll get a negative sign. So I'll just have my 4x squared take away 19x plus 58 take away 169 over x plus 3. Now I just want to emphasize this, since this is really important, that since we got our remainder, and what our remainder is negative 169, our divisor x plus 3 and our quotient 4x squared take away 19x plus 58, see our quotient here, alright, are not factors of our dividend, which is 4x cubed take away 17x squared plus x plus 5. So basically what I'm saying is, when you multiply these two, I would not get this, because when you multiply these two, you have to add the remainder to get back this. For my second question, I'm going to divide 2x cubed plus 3x squared take away 9x plus 4 with x take away 1. So I'm going to write my divisor out here, x take away 1. And I'm going to write my dividend inside of here, which is 2x cubed plus 3x squared take away 9x plus 4. So I'm going to say this first term x, my first term on the outside, with my first term on the inside. So x into 2x cubed, we're going to get 2x squared. Then we're going to have 2x squared multiplied by x, which will just give you back 2x cubed. And we're going to multiply 2x squared with the negative 1 and get negative 2x squared. Now I'm going to subtract. So obviously same thing, take away same thing will give you 0. And I'm going to look at the signs in front of the numbers. So this is positive 3x squared take away negative 2x squared. So these two negative signs, when I multiply it, I'll get a positive sign. So I'll have positive 3x squared plus 2x squared, which will give you a positive 5x squared. Then I'm going to bring down this negative 9x. And I'm going to say x into 5x squared. That will give you positive 5x. I'm going to take that positive 5x and multiply by positive x and get positive 5x squared. Then I'm going to take this positive 5x and multiply by negative 1 and get negative 5x. Now I'm going to subtract. So obviously these two will give you 0 because it's the same thing and you're subtracting. So I come across here now. These two signs, you're going to multiply it and get a positive sign. So you're going to have negative 9x plus 5x. So that will give you a negative 4x. So you're going to get negative 4x and you're going to bring down this positive 4. So you're going to say x into negative 4x. That will give you negative 4. Alright. So I'm going to say negative 4 multiplied by x, that will give you negative 4x. And then you're going to say negative 4 multiplied by negative 1, which will give you positive 4. So now I'm going to subtract. So now notice you have the same thing, take away the same thing here, and also the same thing, take away the same thing here. So this whole thing is the same as this whole thing. So when you subtract them, you're going to get 0. So here I'm not getting a remainder. So that means x take away 1 and this 2x squared plus 5x take away 4 are factors of my dividend. Alright, so let's write that out. So this 2x cubed, this is my dividend, right? Plus 3x squared take away 9x plus 4 is equal to x take away 1 times my quotient, which is 2x squared plus 5x take away 4. Alright, so just want to emphasize this, that since we got a remainder of 0, our remainder here is 0, which is no remainder. Alright, our divisor, x take away 1, x take away 1 here. And our quotient, this 2x squared plus 5x take away 4, same thing here, right, are factors of my dividend, which is this 2x cubed plus 3x squared take away 9x plus 4. So if I were asked to hence factorize that 2x cubed plus 3x squared take away 9x plus 4, I would write that 2x cubed plus 3x squared take away 9x plus 4 is equal to that x take away 1 times 2x squared plus 5x take away 4. Now, this here is a quadratic, and if I could factorize this quadratic, I'll go ahead and do that. Now let's see, 2x squared multiplied by negative 4 will give you negative 8x squared. So I'm looking for factors at 8, that will give 5. Factors at 8 are 8 and 1, that can never give 5. 4 by 2 is 8, 4 and 2 could never give you 5, add or subtract. So therefore this quadratic cannot be factorized any further. Therefore this is your answer for factorizing this polynomial.